I could be wrong, but there do seem to be more libertarians today, more people who care about the Constitution and about limits on government power. Why does this happen? Because of me, of course. I've ranted about this on TV for 20 years, and finally it's paid off. I've convinced more people. And there are more Republicans who lean libertarian because of me. Or maybe not. In the 2008 Republican primary, there was this one obscure Republican presidential candidate who, during a debate, was asked this.
Are you suggesting we invited the 9/11 attack, sir?
I'm suggesting that we listen to the people who attacked us and the reason they did it. And they are delighted that we're over there because Osama bin Laden has said, I am glad you're over on our sand because we can target you so much easier. They've already now, since that time, have killed 3,400 of our men, and I don't think it was necessary.
Wendell, may I make a comment on that? That's really an extraordinary statement. It's an extraordinary statement. As someone who lived through the attack of September 11th, that we invited the attack because we were attacking Iraq. I don't think I've ever heard that before, and I've heard some pretty absurd explanations for September 11th.
Rudy Giuliani got the applause, but by 2012 it was Giuliani who was out of elective politics and Ron Paul getting massive crowds at rallies. So, Congressman Paul, welcome, and I think you get the credit for bringing in more, especially young people. But these are huge. You got 2,000 people showing up at rallies?
To the surprise of many, including myself, our largest rally was at Berkeley campuses. We had 8,000 people came out.
8,000 people.
So that is pleasing, but it is the message because people criticize me all the time. You know, Ron Paul, you're not a very good speaker, you know, that sort of thing. But the message is great. But I think what has happened is the absolute failure of our system is coming together. The failure of our foreign policy, the failure of our monetary system, the failure of our economic policy, and too much intrusion into our privacy. And people see as they just hear the message of liberty, and they say, wow, that makes sense. And it's very attractive to the young people. It's very energizing for me.
And when you started trying to explain these ideas to people, you were a lonely congressman. You would vote no on bills. Sometimes you'd be the only no vote, and your colleagues just thought you were this weird annoyance, a pesky bug. What's he talking about?
There was a lot of that, and I never expected much to happen. So these last 5 years have been a bit of a surprise to me.
You got used to getting no respect.
Well, I thought that in time, maybe in 20 or 30 years, somebody might read, well, you know, maybe let's check his voting
You were
record.
always optimistic. When I was doing this at CBS and then ABC and people would sneer at me, I got depressed about it.
I never did. People asked me if I, got very frustrated, because it didn't seem like I was getting anywhere in Washington. I said I never got frustrated because I had low expectations. I just didn't think I was going to change the world and change Washington. I wanted to change a few people's minds. You have done it on television for so long. But change people's minds is what's important.
If, as Jefferson said, the natural progress of things is for government to grow and liberty to yield, what good is it to change a few minds? Because government keeps growing. We keep losing that freedom. We have to change the majority of minds.
And then Jefferson had some advice about it. There has to be a revolution. He actually literally leaned toward a violent revolution, which I do not. There has to be a revolution. It has to be intellectual. It has to be nonviolent. It has to be energized. The young people have to be involved. And I think we're there. I think we're in the middle of it. And I think that what's happened...
Why do you think we're in the middle of it? We've got more people.
Well, because right now it's actually affecting Washington. I mean, just think of this recent vote that didn't happen on Syria. And it was Republicans and Democrats, grassroots, going to their members and saying, no more war. At the same time, the leadership in the House and the Senate, Republican and Democrat, they were all for it. And they're all for the Fed. So the grassroots got together. I don't like this idea, well, we have to compromise, and raise taxes and do this and that with the leadership. What we want is a coalition of people who call themselves libertarian conservatives with the progressive Democrats who are principled and they don't place the party at the top level.
I'm surprised that a first-term senator, your son Rand, is already getting traction and more attention, and people talk about him as a presidential candidate.
Yeah, I think it's very encouraging because I was pretty skeptical when he first announced for the Senate. Holy man, is he
Skeptical?
He's skeptical. I didn't know whether he could make it. It turned out much better.
He's gotten more attention. His popularity has grown.
Yeah, I think this is a sign of what's happening. There's quite a few now. The one that I helped get elected not too long ago, just the last time, was Justin Amash. He's leading the charge in the House and led that bill to try to rein in NSA. So there's other senators helping Rand right now. So I think we should be able to see some very positive things happening right now.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Coming up, libertarians versus social conservatives, the schism in the Republican Party.